I'm heading out, man. You want to ride?
No, I got my car, but I actually really need to go to the bathroom.
Dude, are you okay?
I am definitely buzzed.
Yeah.
I think I will take this, and I will take that ride home.
When you want to be the best, you can't settle for the rest. There's a reason that Makoni Setup Shop is trusted by more virtual and real-world tracks and companies than any other setup shop in iRacing. With partners such as Stafford Motor Speedway, the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway, Five Flags Speedway, Speed 51, and more. When you want something done right, you go to the experts at Makoni Setup Shop.
With setups available for most series on both asphalt and dirt, built by a team of professional builders consisting of some of the top talents on the service, Makoni Setup Shop LLC has what you need to hit the track with confidence. Head over to MakoniSetupShop.com and learn why Makoni Setup Shop is the official setup shop of Richmond Raceway Esports and is partnered with some of the largest names in virtual and real racing.
And remember, at Makoni Setup Shop, there are setups, but your victories.
I'm Ryan Newman, and since I started with Indiana Donor Network and Driven to Save Lives, I found out that some people think that they can't be an organ donor. The truth is, anyone can sign up to be an organ donor.
Anyone?
Anyone?
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure. Anyone can sign up to be an organ donor. So don't count yourself out because somebody's counting on you. Go to driventosavelives.org and sign up today.
But my heart's going to you, Ryan.
Love that shirt.
If there's one thing every car guy hates, it's cleaning the garage. Do you want to take most of the time and hassle out of that job? Then call Zone Garage of Eastern Pennsylvania and New Jersey. Agnes and her crew will have your garage, shop, basement, or even your porch looking great all the time. With unique patterns and designs, plus the ability to incorporate your logo or any artwork, your space will never have looked better. Installation is done in 1 day, guaranteed, and Zone Garage offers a 20-year warranty on the top coat. Their coatings are durable, anti-slipped, and impact resistant. Give them a call at 570-856-6067. That's 570-856-6067 for Zone Garage of Eastern Pennsylvania and New Jersey. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Magic Mile, New Hampshire Motor Speedway, where tonight the stars and cars of the iRacing Sprint Car Cup will take to the racetrack for a 25-lap feature event. Qualifications just getting out onto the speedway. My name is Chris Grant with the National Racing Network. It is a pleasure to have you joining us this evening. We saw an absolutely incredible race last night out of the Silver Crown cars, and we're expecting to see a lot more of that out of the sprints tonight. Show you the weather conditions here is sponsored by our friends at the Weather Center. Offensively accurate weather information. 86 degrees is the ambient temperature. 93 degrees is the track temp. Winds out of the, basically we'll call it out of the north at 12 miles an hour. Partly cloudy skies. As those track temps change over the course of the race, that's going to play a very big part in how this race develops. Quick timer so far in qualifications is Dan Smith at a 27.92 second lap. We'll show you the times as they come up here on the screen. We'll follow Smith around the completion of his second lap. He goes just a tick slower, 28 flat, lap number 1 in the books for Steven Mastro. Rich Foreman with a good lap. He's going to jump up to the 3rd position
in qualifications. Mastro's second lap just a tick slower. Pick up the number 1 of Ryan Sellers as he makes his way around. Man, team colors out here tonight for some of these cars. That's going to make things interesting on us up here in the broadcast booth. Sellers goes top of the charts, 27.90, 27.90 seconds on lap number 1. Using up a bit of the apron there on the entrance to turn number 3. See what it's going to look like off of turn number 4. He was slower the first half of the racetrack, slower in the second half as well. 28.1 seconds. The quick time for Ryan Sellers. Get you a look here at Josh Batista. He's going to come around to trip the timing line and start his first of 2 qualification laps. Currently Ryan Sellers, Dan Smith, Stephen Mastro, Rich Foreman, and Derek Love, your top 5. One of the things the drivers talked about, big moment there for Batista off at turn number 2. The exit of that turn 2 is really proving to be tricky for these drivers. As there's basically, some have described it as a dip, some as a hump. However, whether you're going up or down, it is really upsetting to the race car when they get off at turn number 2. And some of these drivers are expecting a bit of carnage here tonight as Josh Batista sets the 14th fastest lap of the session, 28.57 seconds. 2/3 of a second behind quick timer Ryan Sellers. Batista off at turn number 4 to complete his qualification run. See what lap number 2 looks like. It's faster, but only up to the 11th position, 28.25 seconds on lap number 2 for Josh Batista. Here is the number, he's the number 2 in timing and scoring, but the 94 on your screens on the side of the race car, Jeffrey Stanton, one of the best in the business here in the sprint cars. Also the community manager for the iRacing Sprint Car Series. See what Stanton's going to be able to do here on lap number 1. Looking at the point standings, Stanton currently 4th in points. Sitting a ways back, however, of first place Ryan Sellers, who has an even 70-point lead over Stephen Mastro, 806 to 736. Dan Smith sits 3rd in points on 717, so another 90 or so points back of Ryan Sellers. You're going to start to see the drop weeks come into play here, and that's going to be a big one as we go. Stanton very quick on lap number 1, 27.99. He's quicker on the first half of the racetrack. What's he do on lap number 2? No change, 27.99, the quick time for Jeffrey Stanton. And he is the last car to complete the qualification lap. So 21 cars will make up the scheduled grid here this evening. Ryan Sellers will be your pole sitter. And let's get you the starting grid for tonight's race. Indiana's Ryan Sellers will line up alongside Florida's Dan Smith on row 1, 21 thousandths of a second separating those two cars. Stephen Mastro, Rich Foreman on row number 2. Good qualifying run there for the 17, and 3 of those DRR cars in the top 4 positions. Jeffrey Stanton, Derek Love will occupy row number 5. Excuse me, row number 3. Row 4 is going to have Joe Adams and Chris Janke, Jason Brown, Brian Payne on row number 5. Row 6, Ron Quinzel and Canada's Josh Batista. William Guest out of Illinois and New England's Kyle Moody on row number 7. Jason Steinhurst and Neil Canning in row number 8. Row 9, Dennis Mizuraka and Josh Williams. Row number 10, DL Lemon and Zach Kruger. All alone back there on row number 11 will be Georgia's Michael Clay, running car number 19 here this evening. Field is fully gridded up. You're going to see them pull away here, and we're going to get ready to go for 25 laps the distance. No surprise to see Ryan Sellers on the pole in that blue and green DRR machine, but there you go. How about the armada of DRR cars? In fact, show a little bit of 3 wide, little show of force off at turn number 2. Love the look of that one. That's one way to show that your cars have got some pace out there. Checking in the comments here. Deploy to save. Thanks for the broadcast. Always enjoy watching. Hoping to see some moves from the Street Side Classics machine of Derek Love. Well, thank you very much. We appreciate that one. Field's going to make their way off of turn number 4. Green flag goes in the air. We're underway here in the sprint cars at New Hampshire. Sellers grabs the early lead. Jeffrey Stanton looking down to the inside of Steven Mastro as they get to turn number 1. Mastro slides up the racetrack, able to cut it back down, kind of diamonds the corner off on exit. See if everybody makes it cleanly here through turn number 2. Looks like they will as we stay green, at least for the moment anyway. Now Stanton up to the outside of Mastro down the front straightaway. This is a good battle heading into turn number 1. Ryan Sellers, Dan Smith doing a nice job of holding on to the front, but how about this side-by-side battle for the race lead off at 2. 2x2 pace laps at 140 mile an hour in the entrance to turn number 3. Smith's down to the inside. He may be your race leader down the front straightaway. Here comes Sellers back at the line. How about 1/100th of a second? Caution flag is out. Trouble on the racetrack back in the pack here. We'll take a look and see who the issue may have been for here, as we'll get our first Hot Shoe Racewear instant replay of the evening. May have been trouble for Brian Payne. Oh, a little bit of contact. Payne's going to go around, slides it down to the inside. Loops the race car around, but that will be enough to bring out the first caution flag of the evening. As we go back to the live look here. As a reminder, caution laps do not count in the iRacing Sprint Car Cup, so we take the timing and scoring down under yellow because of the way iRacing handles not counting caution laps. Going back to our review of the point standings here, as we mentioned, Ryan Sellers is your points leader on the strength of a fantastic season so far. In 5 race weeks, he has 6 starts, 6 wins, 4 poles, and a total of 263 laps led. An absolutely dominant season thus far for Ryan Sellers. Steven Mastro, Dan Smith, Jeffrey Stanton, Chris Janke, the top 5 in points. They'll be followed, completing the top 10 by Chris Janke, Derek Love, Joe Adams, Jason Brown, Jim Vig, and Josh Batista. A little bit of a surprise to not see Jim Vig in the race here this evening, the New Jersey native. In 5 weeks, he's got 12 starts, and 6 of them were top 5 finishes. S. Stinson checking into the comments on YouTube saying Wobbly Goblins time. Yes, the little murder machines are back on the racetrack here on the National Racing Network. Kicking off the first end of a twin bill, and actually it's a doubleheader within a doubleheader, because coming up as soon as this race is over, and potentially earlier, depending on how many cautions we get, it will be a doubleheader from Phoenix Raceway for the Carolina SimWorks TNT Series. The PM18s running a couple of 25-minute long feature events. Seeing Josh Williams maybe off the racetrack as well here. Looks like the lights are out on the iRacing safety cars, so we're going to get ready to go back to green flag racing here. Single file restarts. Lap cars head to the back. You can't pass on the inside till you get to the start-finish line. And Ryan Sellers gets a fantastic jump to start things here. You'll see everybody cycle through one more time. Sellers holds on to the lead. Dan Smith going to have to contend with Steven Mastro and Jeffrey Stanton off at 2. Jason Brown, Joe Adams going to duel for position. Caution flag is out. Trouble on the racetrack for Josh Williams. Take a look here at that number 21 machine. See what happened here off of turn number 2. Oh, got it up into the outside wall and a huge wreck tumbling down the back straightaway. Williams having a bit of a connection issue as is, so the net code may have played a role in that one as well. But looks like Brian Payne and Josh Williams will both be out of the race here. Brian Payne down in his pit box at the moment. That is going to be an unscheduled stop. So taking a look back here to the front of the field as we work under the caution flag for the second time here this evening. So let us know in the comments where you're watching from. Hopefully you are enjoying the show here this evening as sprint cars taking to the Magic Mile here in New Hampshire. If you're just joining us, only a couple of laps in the books. 2 cautions as well so far. One involving the car of Brian Payne. He had a little bit of help going around. Josh Williams all alone getting up into the outside retaining wall on the exit of turn number 2 and going for a pretty wild ride down the back straightaway. If you are watching on YouTube, we'd ask that you please like the video, give it a share, and if you want to support us on a little bit more personal level, you can click the join button. Become a member here. We get you into the NRN Discord and all sorts of fun stuff there. Discounts on some of the NRN swag we're going to have coming out as well. Deployed to save, checking in from New Smyrna Beach, Florida. Fantastic racetrack down there. I love New Smyrna Speedway. Going to be coming back to the green flag this time by. They'll be putting lap number 3 up on the scoreboard. Still going to be Ryan Sellers and Dan Smith. So 3 laps are in the books. Field going to work lap number 4. Smith and Mastro going to battle tightly here. Smith down to the inside, almost a little bit of contact just behind them. Rich Foreman, Derek Love, Chris Janke, all going to be fighting for position down the back straightaway. Janke down to the inside of Derek Love into 3 and 4. This is the fight for the 6th position. Jason Brown just back behind him. Another of the DRR cars currently running in the 12th position. Very similar to what we saw last night in the Silver Crowns. You really could run everywhere on this racetrack, all the way from the yellow line at the entry to the corners, all the way to getting way up the racetrack up against the safer barriers. A little bit of a tank slapper there for Derek Love. He may lose the position to Joe Adams. Adam had to back out of it on corner exit, making sure you didn't get collected in case the car in front of you went around. These cars are so incredibly tricky to drive here. Go on board with Steven Mastro, get you a look behind the wheel. So we're working lap number 7. You can keep an eye on his hands here. You'll see the counter steering and the fighting they have, especially here off of turn 2. Battle for the race lead starting to heat up as we've got a 4-car fight there. Ryan Sellers still leading Dan Smith. It's only going to be about a couple of car lengths as they come off at turn number 2. Stephen Mastro, Jeffrey Stanton going to be separated by about the same gap. At this point in the race, everybody pretty well single file here, but these cars are going to get trickier to drive as we go with the fuel emptying out of these tanks. In fact, we just saw it out of Dan Smith. Big old tank slapper coming off the corner. Jeffrey Stanton, Stephen Mastro going to duel. Oh, big wreck back behind him. Huge crash back in the pack. There's the 12 of Kyle Mooney going around. Rich Foreman going to be involved in that one as well. Looks like the 6 of Chris Janke trying to get himself spun back around. Huge wreck off the exit of turn number 4 will put us under the caution flag for the 3rd time here. Get you the Hot Shoe Racewear instant replay. Rich Foreman up to the outside. Janke just up the track a little bit. Wild ride for Chris Janke. He goes spinning and tumbling. Rich Foreman also getting a big piece of that action. Foreman hard into the wall. He gets collected by the 6. That car spinning around, coming to a stop on the front straightaway. Looked like the 12 of Kyle Mooney also getting a bit of that one here. Get you one more look at this here from Kyle Mooney's perspective. Had to make the big correction and got the car spun back around. Didn't make any contact. Nice piece of driving there by Mooney to keep it off the fence, but unfortunately looked like he stalled the car and had to take the tow back into pit road. That's one of the big things they tell the drivers here, at least remind them anyways. You want to have the anti-stall clutch on because you basically don't have, the cars don't have an onboard starter, and there's no push truck that's going to come out and help you. So unless you got a teammate or something that can help push you on a restart, you really need to make sure that you have that anti-stall clutch enabled so you can theoretically grab the gear and take off again. Ryan Sellers will be the race leader, and it should be lap number 10 going up on the scoreboard next time they come around. See if we can sneak in a quick word here with Josh Batista. Josh currently running in the 10th position, I guess 9th position here. And Josh, tell us what you're thinking handling-wise in the car here. Looks like things are already getting a little bit to be a handful.
Oh, they are very much a handful, especially off 2. Off 2 was just very sketchy. Everybody's just on edge. And, yeah, it's just – I think everybody's just scared to almost leave the pass.
It almost has a feeling of you have to be too safe, and if you try to stay off the throttle too long, you're either going to get swallowed up and wrecked from behind or make a mistake later on somewhere.
Yeah, absolutely. It's very hard on the throttle down the straightaway to keep it pinned, so it's just, yeah, just hanging on for dear life.
All right, Josh, thank you very much for taking the time with us here. We appreciate it. And it'll be interesting to see here when we go back to green as we get a look at the front of the field here. Ryan Sellers still your race leader. Over Dan Smith, Stephen Mastro, Jeffrey Stanton, and Jason Brown, your top 5. Derek Love, Joe Adams, Ron Quinzel, Josh Batista, William Guest going to be your top 10. Seeing Rick Watson checking in the comments, tuning in from Aurora, Colorado. Did a few ghost lap with these fast guys, going to watch now. Yeah, I'd actually have done that myself, where you're turning a couple of ghost laps while you're in practice, and my goodness, these cars are so incredibly difficult to drive, and really pretty amazing the talent level that we have in this field. There is not a slouch anywhere in this field. As we get ready to come back to green, and in fact, we can give you the license info on these drives. How about all A and B class licenses? I mean, just so much talent in these Sprint and Silver Crown fields that we get to showcase here on Monday and Tuesday nights. Ryan Sellers holds on to the race lead as they work lap number 11. It'll be halfway next time by the start, or at least one lap to halfway next time by the start-finish line. Dan Smith currently running in the second position. And what do you think, race fans? How about we give you a shot here to crank it up? Just past the halfway point here in the iRacing Sprint Car Cup at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Derek Love, Jason Brown putting on a bit of a show here. Looking just ahead, Stephen Mastro and Jeffrey Stanton going to be doing the same thing down the back straightaway. Stanton looks down to the inside. He's all the way down to the apron in the entrance to 3. It lets you carry a lot more speed. I imagine it can't be too good for the right side tires of that machine, though. I know it's a move I wouldn't try. I would absolutely yard sale the thing if I tried that. Top 4 have separated themselves out. A little bit further back in the pack here, William Guest, Ron Quinzel fighting for the 8th position. They'll stay side by side down the backstretch. Guest able to come around. Quinzel pick up that 8th position. This is Derek Love, Joe Adams, William Guest, and the aforementioned Ron Quinzel. They're all fighting for 6 back through the 10th position. Guest now down to the inside of Joe Adams. He'll get that pass completed on corner entry. We'll see if he can keep the momentum up off the corner. He does. Nice pass there for William Guest. He's up 6 spots from the drop of the green flag. DL Lemon up 7 from where we started this race. Quickly around to working lap number 17 to 25, right about the 3/4 distance mark here. It's been all Ryan Sellers at the front of the field, and he's done a nice job of holding off Dan Smith, who currently runs in the 2nd position. Smith getting the win 1 week ago in the broadcast race. Stephen Mastro, Jeffrey Stanton still 3rd and 4th, and Mastro has opened up the gap on Stanton. Kind of interesting to see how they're sort of diamonding off the corner. You get very straight on corner entry, get the car pitched, and then try to drive it as straight off the corner as you possibly can as well. Guess getting up on the tail tank of Derek Love. That's the fight for position number 6. I can't believe we're going to be already down to 6 laps to go next time by the start-finish line. Only 19 minutes in the books here, and how about it, race fans? The fight for third heating up once again. Steven Mastro on the outside. Jeffrey Stanton down to the inside, coming around the lap traffic. Nice job getting yourself cleared out of the way. That is an incredibly difficult skill to learn here, as Stanton thought about trying the slider into turn number 3. We'll see if he's going to try the move again here into 1. Oh, Mastro may have clipped the outside safer barrier. Stanton way down onto the apron in 1 and 2. Stanton's trying to make that inside lane work. The car is definitely getting to be a little squirrely on corner exit. Tell you what, though, Jeffrey Stanton able to keep up a lot of speed in that car. Mid-corner, that number 94 machine just looks very, very fast. Comment coming in here from Big Mac saying it's crazy how much shorter these races are compared to the Silver Crowns. You know what? Part of the reason I think for that is they are so difficult to drive. If you tried to run like a 50-lap feature in these, you would be time limited almost every race. Just because by nature of it, the lighter these cars get on fuel, the harder they are to drive. And when you get down to just a couple of gallons left, it can be a very scary race car to drive. Oh, Jeffrey Stanton, a little bit too much on the loud pedal. He was 3/4 of the way down the back straight when that car started to step out. What a save for Jeffrey Stanton. Pick up race leader Ryan Sellers as we are already down to just 2 laps to go here at New Hampshire. 21 and a half minutes in. We said this thing would fly by if it went green. Off of turn number 4, they will see the white flag next time by. Sellers cleanly through turns 1 and 2. The car getting a little squirrely there at the mid-corner point, but Dan Smith, I don't think is going to have anything for him here. As we get down the backstretch into turns 3 and 4 for the final time. And without a big-time issue, this race will be all Ryan Sellers. Green to checkered, wire to wire. Ryan Sellers claims the win over Dan Smith, Steven Mastro, Jeffrey Stanton, and Jason Brown, your top 5. What a fantastic drive by Ryan Sellers here at the front of the field. So we see a couple of cars getting binned up down the back straightaway. As they come around, let's get you the race results here. Waiting on the last car or two to come around. Sellers noses it in, starts the donuts and the burnouts. There you go. Get the shot from the 14 there of Neil Canning as well. Ryan Sellers gets the win over Dan Smith, Steven Mastro, Jeffrey Stanton, and Jason Brown. William Guest, Derek Love, Joe Adams, Ron Quinzel, Josh Batista, your top 10. 11 to 15, Kyle Mooney, Jason Steinhurst, DL Lemon, Dennis Mizuraka, and Zach Kruger. 16 through 20 will belong to Neil Canning, Michael Clay, Brian Payne. Both of those cars finishing a lap or 2 down. Rich Foreman, Chris Janke, and Josh Williams all having big-time accident issues in this one. They will finish at the back of the field this evening. With that, let's get ready for the victory lane interviews here, and we'll start things off with Steven Mastro, who had a pretty darn good run tonight in the Hoosier Tire East number 3. Stephen, good show you guys put on out there tonight here at New Hampshire. Tell us about your night.
Yeah, I mean, it was a pretty good race. I got to be honest, I wasn't super looking forward to New Hampshire tonight. Not one of my better tracks, but had a pretty good battle there with Jeffrey. I feel a little bit. I think I was just fast enough to hold him up there. I think he was a little quicker. I was probably a fourth place car.
That's one of those where this place it's deceptively wide in that you think you can go everywhere. The reality is you kind of had to hold almost a single groove, maybe a car width either side of that preferred line, and you had to be so careful off it too that it really kind of changed the dynamic of the whole race.
Oh yeah, exactly. You hit the nail on the head with that. I mean, off of two, it was really hard. I was struggling to put the power down, and just the line you had to run to be quick. It was pretty much we were all running the same line. You could sort of run the outside to hold the guy off, but if you wanted to be quick, you kind of had to be in that middle bottom lane.
Well, fantastic run for you tonight here, and a pretty good points night here, as much as Ryan's kind of running away with things. All in all, not a bad way to hit the midpoint of the season. So congratulations on the podium finish, and who would you like to thank?
Thank Hoosier Tire East, Dave Combs Retire, WHM Motorsports. Thank you guys for broadcasting, and shout out to my gramps and my dad because they watch every week. So thanks for that, guys.
Very cool. There you go. Thank you very much, Stephen. We appreciate it here. Let's pick up our runner-up finisher here this evening, Dan Smith. And you guys screwed me up big time here tonight with every one of you DRR cars showing up in matching paint schemes. I'm having to go by numbers instead of paint schemes now. What else was different here about the car this week? I mean, it seemed we just talked with Stephen about it. Turn 2 just seemed like it was kind of a mess for everybody.
Yeah, real quick, Chris, that was my idea today. I hollered at the guys and I said, hey, let's put one of our old paint schemes on so we all look alike and confuse Chris tonight on the broadcast. That is no lie. That's how that went down, bud.
Well, thank you very much for that.
Man.
Yes, thank you very much for that. I appreciate it. It's not like it's an open wheel car where you can try to identify by helmets or something. You're looking for the big numbers on the front. That's about all we had. But, yeah, I mean,
there you go, man.
The car was – it seemed like the whole DRR Speedworks team, you guys really had something figured out tonight setup-wise as well.
You mentioned turn 2. I'll give you a real quick answer here, Chris. Turn 2, it was pretty shady, man. It was sketchy off for everybody. I know Ryan and I talked a lot about it, and they're the last when we got that caution on lap 10. We were chasing the car down the straightaways, man. It'd spool up, break the rears loose. But at any rate, man, we just the big tracks, Chris. The big hot slick tracks we seem to do well at. This drives a lot like Milwaukee Mile, IRP, or Phoenix, so it's right in everybody's wheelhouse for what we get around pretty good on.
Well, you know what? It was a fantastic run that you guys put on tonight here, and a really dominant performance as well, upping your points lead all the way around for the team. So congratulations on that one. Who do you guys want to thank?
Real quick, Chris, obviously you, man, like we do every week. You have no idea how much we appreciate you sticking with us. And then I want to give a shout out to Jason Setzer down at Setzer Fabricating, Rich Foreman Photos, Chris Santucci down at RELSI, and my teammates, man, Ryan, Derek, Jason, Rich. Let's keep banging these results out, man.
Yeah, and you guys are having a pretty good week out here for PA 600 Speed Week as well with the whole Keith Coons team. So pretty cool seeing those guys out here. So congratulations on the podium finish here, and we're looking forward to talking to you more this season.
Hey, thanks a lot, Chris. Really appreciate it, man.
So now we'll pick up our race winner, guy who, quite frankly, has been utterly dominant this season. He adds another 25 laps to the laps led total and running away with the points title at this point. Ryan Sellers, and congratulations on the win, first and foremost. Tell us about the night.
Thank you. Before tonight, I've had 0 laps on this track, so this was a whole new experience for me tonight. And just the hot, slick track, like I said before, it plays right into my wheelhouse, and that's what I really like when, you can skate the car off the corner, and all depends on throttle control and everything, and it's just what I like.
You know what? Dan just told us the exact same thing of you get on the hot, slick racetracks and the team seems to excel. Is that something in the special sauce of the setups or just the track as a group suits your driving styles?
I think, you know, we all don't run the same setup. We all have tailored setups to ourselves, and so I don't think it honestly is the setups. I think it's just what our team likes to do. We like to go on the big tracks and the hot slick tracks and run away with stuff and pick up wins.
Yeah, it was a show you guys put on tonight. And by the way, thank you very much. Apparently, it was Dan's idea to screw with the play-by-play guy tonight with the matching team uniforms out there for everybody. So thank you very much for that one. We appreciate it. And, yeah, you're having about as good of a season as you could possibly have. I get 7 starts now, 7 wins, 5 poles. What more can you say other than it's not even good luck at this point. You have just been absolutely dominant this year.
Yeah, I think it just goes to show seat time in this car makes a lot of the difference. You know, I go back 3 or 4 seasons, I wasn't winning any races, and then, you know, last season I came on strong, and then this season obviously continuing where I left off last season, and it's just seat time is all I can say for this car. And, you know, Dan helps, Rich helps, Jason helps, and we've brought Derek on now, and we're vibing good as a team, and it's obviously showing.
Well, once again, congratulations on an absolutely fantastic win here tonight. And before we let you go, let's get the plugs and thank yous in here.
DRR Speedworks, LST, Leary Shock Technology, Leary Construction, Rich, Dan, Jason, Derek, you guys for broadcasting. Like you said, I think I was upset that I missed last week's race, but to come back on Thursday and get a win and still decent points. So continue on the points chase and see what happens at the end of the year.
All right, there you go, everybody. That's Ryan Sellers, your race winner here this evening, and quite frankly, just an absolutely dominant performance out of that race car. But with that, we'll go back to the live look here and get you ready for the second end of the doubleheader. We're going to hop on the quick flight out to Phoenix for the Carolina SimWorks TNT Series. That will be a pair of 25-minute long features. Really looking forward to that one. But with that, we'll wrap up our coverage here from New Hampshire Motor Speedway for everybody here at the National Racing Network. My name is Chris Graham. It has been a pleasure to have you hanging out with us here. We'll see you in about 10 minutes or so from Phoenix. Have a good night, everybody.